want to just say one thing before I start babbling about the video title. I will actually be mentioning some topics that I have talked about before, so I won't be going into depth about them. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have done three, out of the top of my head, 3 videos explaining exactly this. I will be talking about the downfall of my channel, about the future of my channel, about what to do from now on, and then I also explained why I didn't record after talking about those changes and making the video where I explained that my channel was going boom down. And then we talked about the changes. You guys helped me fill out some polls, and then we went to the next video, which is why I didn't upload after that. I got bit by my cat, and then I said that I would be back once my antibiotics are finished, and I probably said some other things I will be doing. I don't remember everything. Well, it's been, I think, a week after that video. I haven't actually been on YouTube. I haven't even touched my computer, I think in 2 days or 3 days, which is it even been like that? I don't know. But I have been on the computer during the cat video, the cat bit me video, but the last couple of days I haven't been on the computer at all, and that's weird for me. But yeah, let me actually get into the video where I'm gonna be sitting here talking like hours about this, like, not really important part of this story. So after I in my last video, by the way, I talked about having problems and pooping in a jar, which is, I know, kind of TMI, but I find that I've struggled with this problem for 7 years, and I finally think I got an answer to my problem. But that keeps me thinking, it took me so long, or it took them so long to find something like a diagnosis for me, that I almost want to tell this story, because if you have the same symptoms, I would definitely try and well, not try, but I would love to educate you as well, that there may be a different story, there may be a different result, there may be a different like diagnosis waiting for you, but your doctor could just be lazy. No shade to all the doctors there, but some doctors are just like, boom, like going to the hospital after 1 week, and some doctors after 10 years are like, well, you do come here quite often, so maybe we should do something, right? So I figured, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna be uploading in a while, and I will try my best, but in case I don't, I want to let you, first of all, know what's going on. Second of all, if I can help someone else who has this, or who thinks he has this, or who has no clue what this is but has the same symptoms, like, I don't know, I just feel like talking is so therapeutic for one, and if I can help someone else, why not? So when on the last day, was it the last day? I don't remember actually. On one of the last days of my, excuse me, okay, I took my antibiotics on Wednesday until Friday. So on Friday I went back to the doctors, got more antibiotics. I was supposed to be done by Wednesday, but instead I would be done by Thursday. Yeah, by Thursday, because it was 2 extra rounds, which is like the morning and the evening. So basically it was Wednesday, and I had to pick up the phone. And when I picked up the phone, actually, it was kind of funny. So my boyfriend, I was on Skype with my boyfriend, and I left my desk, and I came back and I saw my boyfriend texted me, like, oh, like, babe, your phone went off, someone called you. And I'm like on Skype, I'm talking to him, I'm like, babe, you text me that my phone is ringing, on my phone that is ringing. Like, do you think I'm gonna see your text when, you know, I don't even see my phone? It was very sweet, but I was like, it doesn't work. Like how? But anyway, so I noticed I had a missed call. Actually, 2. I had 1 missed call by an unknown number, and I had a voicemail. And so I was like, that's kind of weird. I'm doing something with therapy where, well, I won't go too much in depth, but someone could call me for that. And I call back, and it's like the doctor. And you know, the moment when when the doctor calls you back, you're just like, oh my god, I'm dying. You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, I have either cancer, a tumor, there's something really wrong with me, I need to go to the hospital ASAP. Like when a doctor calls you back, you're like it's not good, right? So I'm listening, and she goes like, you need to call me back ASAP. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I was like, my heart started beating so fast. I also suffer from anxiety, which kind of makes it hard to stay calm when things happen. So I was like, oh my lord. So I was sitting here like thinking, no, it's fine, she's not calling because I have like 10 cancerous growths in my head or something, and you know, I'm gonna pass out any second. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna have seizures, or you know your brain, especially if you have anxiety, your brain starts going overdrive during situations. So I was like, oh my god. So I told my mom, like, can I still call them back? Because I'm freaking out. Anyway, so I call them back. I'm like, okay, let's stay calm. Just breathe. I'm breathing in, breathing out. I'm like, I'm gonna call them. So I'm like, yeah, you called me. Or, well, not like that nonchalant, like, yeah, you called me. But, like, you called, you know, I had to call back. Then this woman, the assistant, is like, oh, like, what's your birth date? I'm like, you just called me like 5 seconds ago and you don't know who I am. So your medicine is waiting for you at the pharmacy. I suggest you go get them. And I'm just like, what medicine? For what? She's like, oh, you have, no, she told me, you have something like GHA, AGA, something with the G and A and H. And I was like, okay. Okay, well, I guess I'll just wait until tomorrow, because it was kind of late. It was like 5 p.m. So I figured, well, she called now. She didn't say, you know, you're gonna die. So she just said I had to like get antibiotics. So I mean, I figured since antibiotics, I've already been on antibiotics for my finger, it would not be a life or death situation like ASAP, right? So next day I go and get my medication. So I figured I would go to the doctor first, or the assistant actually, because you go through assistant first and then you go see the doctor. And I'm like, okay, let's just first try to find out what the fuck I have, because like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna get medicine for something I don't know what I have, because like it's like you know what I mean? So I go to the doctor, the assistant actually, and I'm like, yo, what do I have? And she's like, she calls it by name again. I'm like, and that is, she's like, if you want to know something, you have to Google it. I'm just like, okay, are you the assistant? Are you supposed to tell me things? Now, this is a lovely lady, like, don't hate on her, but I asked her, like, how long have I remember I asked her, how long have I had it? She couldn't tell. Okay. How did I get it? She couldn't tell. I had to Google everything. I'm like, bitch, okay. So I went to go get my medicine, and they, I could, if you want to know what it is, I can literally name it for you. But basically, I had amoxicillin, for my finger. And that's what they gave me as well for what I have now. And it's, instead of 125 milligrams, now it's like 1,000 milligrams. So I was like, that seems like a pretty high doses. Like, that doesn't sound like a joke, you know what I mean? That sounds like serious business. Like, maybe not life and death, but definitely like serious business. Especially since you was like, call me ASAP. I was like, oh my lord, I'm literally gonna die. So I got that. I also got pantoprazole, Aurobindo, which is a stomach protector. And amoxicillin is definitely an antibiotic because I've had that for the finger. And the other one is claroficillin. What's the name? It's like literally there. I can't read it. I have to turn my head upside down. Something like that. Clarotomicillin, something like that. I don't know what the fuck the name is. It's also like an antibiotic or something. Anyway, so I get all the medicine. She's like, you have to do this for a week. You have to take 6 pills a day. And then for 40 days after that, 30 days after that, I have to take a stomach protector, the pantoprazole, for like a month straight. Like, oh, okay. So I go home and I start Googling, and it's like, basically, what I have, I have Helicobacter pylori, which I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what I have. And I was just like, okay. So if you don't know what that is, because I had no fucking clue what that was, this is basically what it is. It's okay. It's when your acid levels are not okay, and when the acid is attacking the stomach lining, there could also be sores or ulcers, and if it's untreated, it can actually lead to problems with your esophagus or your stomach. Like I said, it's eating away your stomach lining, and there could be ulcers, and it could eventually lead into bleeding and weight loss and shit like that, basically. And I got diagnosed with that because I pooped in a jar, and they found out that the bacteria, the infection that I had, was noticeable throughout that. Now, here's the reason why I went to the doctor in the first place, right? In 2012, I was done with school. I was 17 when I graduated high school, and I would have been 16, but I was 17 because I did a year extra, so I did a year extra, so I had to do a year less in my college. Yeah, I'm gonna call it like college. It's not really college, but I'm gonna refer to college because it's easier than high school, and further education is just like high school and college, whatever. I dropped out of college after the first year because my stress levels and anxiety was developing. My stress levels were over the roof, and that's when for the first time in my life I experienced pain. It was like a kind of pain, like really burning. To all my girls out there, if you have period pain, imagine your period pain but then like right under your ribs, and instead of cramping, it's like pure fire. It just feels like you're on fire, and it radiates towards your back, towards my left arm especially. And I was just like, damn, what the fuck is that? I remember every time I ate something, it would go away, but it would also come back heavier, and then you would eat something again, and it would come back even worse. But eating kind of made it stop for a second, so eventually I started eating, right, to cope with it. I also had a friend, but maybe at that time I had a friend, and she had like paracetamols. I don't know if you have that too. It's like I don't know. Do you have paracetamols? It's basically a painkiller, one of the lower ones, and usually like 100 puts me to sleep. Like I swear, 100 is like knockout. And my friend had like a higher doses as well, like 500 or 250, I don't know. And I remember every half an hour, I had to take more and more painkillers, and it was just like the worst because it would work, but only for short term. I remember just thinking, how in the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this? I was 17, like I said, I was 17 back then, almost 18. Then I developed anxiety, blah, 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 blah. A couple years go by throughout 2012 and 2016, which is 4 years of my life. I would be 21 in 2016. And I remember I had it as well. Now, I didn't have it constantly. It would come and then stay for maybe a week and be hell, and then disappear, and then come back a few months later. And I never really understood what the fuck is going on. I remember in 2016, I met my boyfriend, and I talked about him to him a lot. I talked to him about it a lot, and I remember that I was just thinking, how in the fuck am I gonna get over this? Because I was just thinking, what the fuck, something's wrong with me, right? And I went to see a doctor, and I explained to her there were new symptoms, right? The pain was worse. When I was stressed, it was even worse. I would not sleep. I couldn't eat. It was just absolutely the worst. And the only symptoms I had back then were literally like pain, right? Pain, not sleeping, acid, like a lot of like stomach aches and pain and acid and warm feelings and not sleeping and stuff like that. Over the course of 2016 to 2019, I experienced other symptoms. All of a sudden, I stopped being able to digest food, which means I gained a lot of weight. So pretty much you have to imagine I was I don't know the conversion, so I won't even bother, but let's say let's say let's just pick a random number. I don't know. Okay, let's do between 1 and 10, right? So I was closer to, I was a 2. From 1 to 10, I was a 2. And at 2016. And then I started to become a 3, 2017. And then between 2017 and 18, all of a sudden I was a 4. And I was like, huh. And I couldn't digest anymore. I couldn't poop for days. Acid, pain. It was just like the absolute worst. And then all of a sudden, throughout 2018, between 18 and 19, all of a sudden I lost like 2 again, and I was like, oh, I'm like 3 now. That's perfect. Like, rather be 3 than 9, you know what I mean? But then in 2019, the last 7 months, all of a sudden I gained 6. So I went from a 3 to a 9, and I was like, I just gained 6 kilos. I started being really bloated. I started gaining weight. I was working out more. I was doing more things. I was eating super healthy. But all of a sudden, I couldn't eat bread anymore because it would just set me off like boom. I would try and I would literally try anything, but it would just not work. Like I could not work out. I couldn't exercise the kilos off. I could not make it disappear. I would be bloated. Either I was bloated and I couldn't poop, or nauseous, or I had acid. And then I was put on medicine. I had this medicine for like digestive issues. I took that for a week and it worked. I was like, wow, I finally found the answer. But the pain didn't stop, right? And then I also was put on a laxative to help me poop. And that worked for a week as well. I was like, wow, I found the answer. I'm just like super constipated and I need more laxatives, right? Then it went away and I forgot to take the pill for like a week. I was like, okay, whatever. And I started taking it again because I noticed that my symptoms came back when I stopped. So I tried to take them again then, but then it stopped working. I took them for a week and it didn't work anymore. Plus I was taking 1 laxative a day. I started taking 3 a day and it made absolutely no fucking difference. No fucking difference. I was like, and when I went to the doctor, my doctor told me I had IBS, which is like irritable bowel syndrome. And I'm just like, but it's not. It's not, because it does not have fucking acid that keeps you awake for days and pain like this. I was like, fuck. So a while back, I went back to her and I'm like, yo. And she was like, what do you want me to do about it? I'm like, I want at least to do some tests, right? Like stick a camera up my ass. I don't know, just do something. So that's when she said she would decide to do blood test. And I had to poop in a jar. Now, which is not too long ago. And that's when I went and had to poop in a jar. But because I was constipated, I couldn't do it. So I tried on a Friday, couldn't poop. I was like, oh, fuck. Then I went on a Tuesday, but I could not poop either. So I was like, fuck. And then that Wednesday, I got bit by my cat. And then that Friday, I went and pooped and got my blood tested. So fast forward a week, which is last week, I had my entire 7 days of antibiotics. Not 7 days, but from Wednesday to last Wednesday, I had my antibiotics. And it's now currently Saturday, which means I was done with my antibiotics on Wednesday. And that's when I got the call that I had to get the antibiotics and start them straight away on Thursday, right? And now it's Saturday. Now, what have I realized? What have I learned? When I went home, I went to Google and stuff. Now, I have a little bit of a fear with taking pills because I'm always afraid I'm gonna get heart palpitations. That's like one of the anxiety fears that I have, like really purely they come from anxiety because I never used to have them. But when I got anxiety, I started to freak out about heart rates and palpitations for some fucking reason, right? So I'm like, oh, I can't take them. I just couldn't mentally take them. But because I still had a pill for Thursday, I was like, I'm gonna take the day off, right? Then fast forward came Friday and I was just like, which is yesterday, I'm like, I can't fucking do this, right? I can't fucking do this. Oh, actually, no, wait. Fast travel back to Thursday, I was like, I can't fucking do this. And I managed to ask my doctor in the morning to call me because I wanted to visit, but I managed to call her because I wanted some more explanation, right? And I wanted to know some more things about the medication. Like, if I'm going to be put on like 3,000 milligrams of antibiotics for a fucking week, I think I deserve to know what the fuck's going on, you know? So I called her, and in the end, she told me what I had and explained a bit more. And I started Googling, and again, because, you know, apparently what sets this off is either stress, poo bacteria, or probably genetics. It's basically a combination of one of the three, but also a diet. Now, when I went vegan, I upped certain things in my life that definitely caused this. Before that, I never drank milk, I never ate much bread or gluten to begin with, no soy whatsoever, not that, well, I ate more sugar, but, you know, you're a teen, so what teen does not eat sugar, right? Maybe the teens from nowadays, but back in my time, like, everyone ate sugar. So what I realized is that I probably did not have IBS, but I had Helicobacter pylori, aka stomach infection, ulcers, or whatever not. So I'm gonna have to be, like I said, put on a week of antibiotics, and that should fix it. But then after that, I have to literally change my entire diet. And the stupid thing is, I've suffered from 17 to 24. I'm like 24 now, started at my 17th. I've suffered for 7 years. And the doctor even told me, like, this could very well be it. And I'm really fucking happy that after 7 years I got an answer. But now I realized, once you have this, you literally just have to, make sure that you're not going to get it again. So the best thing to do is don't eat soy, don't eat sugar, no alcohol, no caffeine, no tomatoes and stuff like that. So onions are good, but no tomatoes. I guess there's just different acidic levels or whatever. Especially no gluten. So I'm basically gonna have to be extremely fucking healthy. And I'm just praying to God that I'm gonna lose the weight and be able to poop. I haven't actually started the antibiotics because when I called my doctor, she said, you're just done with antibiotics for your cat bite, so it's best if you just wait maybe a week or two. I'm probably gonna wait until like Monday because I'm just like fucking done with this and I want to, you know, get it over with. But I didn't believe at first that this was it either, because the symptoms are like so opposite. Diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, blah blah blah, weight loss, and all I had was no pooping, weight gain, and I was bloated as fuck. And oh my god, the last years I have been unable to think. The last weeks, I swear, every time I get acid, I feel like my brain is just like fogging like fucking crazy. I cannot for the life of me think straight. Today I wanted to say I went to bed yesterday. Instead I said I went to bed yesterday, and I kept saying it like 4 times bird, like I couldn't say bed for some fucking reason. I'm really fucking happy that I think like everything connects, right? Everything connects to this. So I'm so fucking happy that I finally, after 7 years, got an answer. But at the same time, I'm gonna have to literally live on a gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, alcohol, caffeine-free diet. It's gonna be like this for the rest of my life. So there's still like my allergy tests are still running, so I haven't actually gotten the results back. My doctor said it was going to take 7 weeks. The lady that did it said it was probably like 2 weeks, so I'm going to try Monday. But I have a good feeling that this is what it is. So if you have symptoms like this, if you have weight gain and bloating and acid and keeps you up for days and it's been longer than years, get yourself a jar and poop in it. You can also get it by blood testing, but it's easier to do by poop and it's more accurate. So please help yourself out and get this done. If she tells you it's IBS, tell her it's IBS bullshit and shut the fuck up and give me a pooping jar. So, maybe not that aggressive, but well, you know what? Fucking go there and be like, bitch, give me a fucking pooping jar. I want to poop in the jar. You ain't gonna deny me my healthcare that I deserve, bitch. I don't know about America with your systems and a lot of people uninsured, but fuck, if you are insured, slap the bitch if you need to. Just get your pooping jar. Literally takes a week. And if you do have the bacteria, you don't even have to call them, they'll call you because it's bad. I'm not saying it's like life-threatening, but if you can burn your esophagus, you can burn holes through your stomach lining. Ulcers can be life-threatening too. Yeah. Get yourself tested. Please, do it for yourself. Do it for me. If I knew this 7 years ago, I wouldn't have suffered for 7 years. Do you know how fucking frustrating it is when you cannot eat because it makes the pain worse, but then you're hungry, and then when you eat, you have to eat and eat and eat and eat for your fucking week before it just disappears. I took a pantoprazole last night and took one today. I tell you, I had acid for 3 days because of the antibiotics, and I didn't have a stomach protector back then. So I took the stomach protector after I realized that I needed new antibiotics, so I started those early. I had acid last night. I had acid on Thursday night. Couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep on Friday night. No, wait a minute. I didn't sleep Wednesday night. I didn't sleep Thursday night. Friday, I took the antibiotics. No, I took the stomach protector. I had acid, but it was less. Today, acid is gone. This is the most peace I've felt in fucking years. I tell you, it's like a miracle pill. Please help yourself out. Anyway, this is kind of the reason why I haven't been here, because the last set of antibiotics made me fucking tired. Then I had to deal with this. I was fucking stressed, not to mention had acid. I just laid in bed thinking, when is death gonna come upon me? Like, I need some sort of relief. And I wanted to record, but you know, when you're just done with life, and I feel like I have answers now, but because I am on antibiotics and because my gut health is even worse than it was before, my mind is so fucking foggy. But on a good term, everything that mentally was wrong with me for the last years could have been explained by my gut, because there is a link between your gut and your mental health. If your gut sucks, your health sucks, which explains everything. Everything got worse the last 3 years, including my stomach, stress, and my head. So I'm fucking happy, but more of the story is probably when I'm done with my other antibiotics, I will have a normal fucking working brain. I'll be more positive. We'll be sticking to things. We'll have a better life, and mostly of all, mama's gonna look sexy because she's gonna be able to poop every day. That's the goal. Or at least pooping. Okay, at least every 2 days if I really have to. Every 3 days, fine. As long as I don't get acid and I don't gain 6 kilos a week, okay? Jesus. Fuck. But yeah, I'm just tired, and I don't know, I'm just kind of out of it. So I'm trying to surround myself with my family for once. Well, usually I'm staying away from my family because they give me stress, but I guess because I'm stressed, I just give them my stress instead of their stress to me. So serves you right. No, it's kind of mean, but you know, it's kind of switched now, and people, I don't know, we talk more, probably because I don't know, but you know what I mean. I'm spending time with my family, even though my room is a mess. Like, I swear, when I got on antibiotics, my room was like, I just didn't give a fuck about anything anymore. I just was like, oh, when is this over? Fuck, you don't even know antibiotics. Like, I've been on them once for a week because I had a sinus infection in my face. My face was literally like a watermelon for a week. I could only sit up straight because as soon as I moved, I felt like my face was gonna just fall off. But I've been on them for a week before, but it wasn't, I was tired all the time, right? But I was always in bed, so I never noticed it. But now I feel like the last set of antibiotics really tired me, really fucked up my gut a lot. So everything is just like exactly that. And I could technically upload between now and Monday, because Monday I want to start my antibiotics, but I want to surround myself, like I said, with positive things. Like, for now, just my family, reality, and not my room, because if I sit behind the computer all day, I'm gonna just keep thinking about the fucking pills for a week. I'm gonna be literally sitting there like, I need to take them again. What if I feel something? What if my symptoms get worse? What if my side effect? Is this a side effect? I'm sweating. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's gonna happen because I have anxiety, and that's what anxiety does to you. It makes you fucking insane. No offense. But, you know, I say it by myself as well, so please you're not offended either. Anyway, I'm fucking hungry. Yeah, this is like one of those rambling videos, but honestly, I don't know what the fuck to do with my life right now besides making these videos. So at least you guys know what's up, and if you love me, if you love me. That's kind of deep, but you know, if you do give a fuck about me, then obviously you don't really fucking mind this video. You'll probably be like, fuck, this is a long video, bitch. Like, excuse me, didn't subscribe for this. But at the same time, you can kind of relate because you're like, well, you know, you don't fucking feel well, so I guess you don't have to do all the effort. You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm gonna go make my food now. Yeah. Hopefully I'm gonna get this up today or tomorrow. I'll try my best. Regardless, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.